EGM Network.
Welcome to Scouted Treasure Coast. On this episode, or on this show, we talk about the people that are creating or shaping the Treasure Coast, business owners, artisans, and community stewards. Today, I was trying to get right into it. Today, we have Judy Baldissard that owns Loggia Vero Beach. And we're here to talk about curation and how curating a beautiful boutique can inspire the way you dress, the way you live, the way you decorate at home, the way you entertain. So welcome, Judy. Thank you for coming on the show today. And Judy was with Tiffany's for how long?
38 years.
38 years. Okay. All right. I was going to say 40, but I was like, I want to make sure. And you were you were involved with international sourcing. Is that correct?
Strategic planning, business development, international sourcing.
Okay. And when you retired, you picked Vero Beach to move to.
We moved,
okay,
to Vero Beach.
And how long were you here before you decided that maybe retirement wasn't exactly for you?
Not very long.
Okay.
So I took a job at Loggia.
Oh, okay.
I took a part-time job at Loggia.
All right.
And then the opportunity arose.
Okay.
And I acquired Loggia.
So after all the years of experience that you had with Tiffany's, what was it about Loggia? Was there anything that in particular that drew you to even taking a part-time job?
Well, I was a bit bored in retirement, so I was looking for something to do. But the reason Loggia over all the other stores, because it is a lifestyle store. And when I worked at Tiffany, that experience of a lifestyle store, even though people don't think of it that way, they think of it as a jewelry store. When I started there, it was a lifestyle store, and it had many of the same categories, and except for women's clothing. And that's what really drew me to Loggia.
Okay. So you had the opportunity to buy it.
I did.
And so now you're the owner.
I am.
And how's that going?
It's going great. You know, I love the community. I love my customers. I love the procurement piece of it. I just enjoy being a part of the community, working at Loggia and owning Loggia.
So let's talk about the procurement, because I know, don't you always go over, at least last summer, I know you went over to Europe to source some pieces for the store. Was jewelry one of them, or?
Well, normally with jewelry, I work with actually an archivist from Tiffany. I have deep relationships in the jewelry industry.
Right.
I even talked to some of the people I worked with at Antwerp about jewelry. But I basically travel to really understand what's going on in the marketplace and to find something unique. Be going to France this year and be doing some of the markets there. And I don't buy a lot there, but it really gives me a sense of what I'm trying to bring to Loggia, something just a little bit different, because we all can't carry the same things. And the market's pretty small, and the world of sourcing's fairly small. There's big manufacturers. So when I travel, it's really to give me a sense of what I want to bring in as far as design goes and different items. And normally it's not a lot of items, it's just a few items.
So why France this year?
Well, we're going to bike. It's somewhat personal.
Okay.
We're going to bike in France, and then they have beautiful antique markets.
Okay. So I know a lot of people vacation in France in the summer. So what months in particular do you think? I mean, a lot of people travel to, well,
I'm going in May before everyone goes.
Okay.
I'm going to go middle of May to June. We've hired someone to help us visit the markets,
right?
Because I'm not I don't really have a lay of the land to say. I know certain markets I want to go to, but most of that's just through my own little research. So you really need to rely on an expert to help you shop a little bit. And I don't even know if I'll find something for Loggia or something for me personally.
So I know with, it used to be, and I don't know if it still is, but before the internet and digital and everything is worldwide in a matter of seconds these days. But it used to be that we looked to Europe, at least in the United States, to what was, in style and what was going to be in fashion and the trends, forward trending, I guess, to Europe. Is
All the
that
big houses?
okay? Is that still with the markets over there? Would you say that that's still
I think
part
that's
of it?
true for luxury.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true for the market that we live in here in Vero, because it's more of a casual place.
Coastal,
and
beachy.
coastal, beachy, but also there's a bit of elegance to it. So I don't know. Fashion influences, Europe influences every piece of fashion and design.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of it, but I would say here, everyone takes the color story from Europe,
Okay.
of the new year.
Right, like layering is the big
Right.
layering is the big trend now. So I know
Yes.
they do that a lot in Europe.
Right. So that color story. So this year, I think, and next year, it's been a little bit about green and brown. Some yellows are coming back. That's not right for everybody, right? That home interiors have changed so much. Some of that comes from Europe and some of that doesn't. For a while we were looking for more of the white landscape in our homes, and
Right.
now colors coming back into our homes.
Thank God.
So trying to bring that back into a store environment too, where someone just doesn't want a white piece of furniture.
Mhm.
Also, a little bit of history's coming back, right? So vintage is very popular right now, and
Right.
that's why I plan to go to look in the vintage markets, because when you decorate a home, it should have the old and the new in it, right? And the
Right.
high and the low in it. And that's what brings texture and character to your home.
Right. A lot of and I know this is a big part of Loggia, is your linens that you carry. And that's big in Europe, always has been. And it's
Right.
always been, I feel here we've always followed what the trend is and what they're doing with their linens or bath. How do you see, I mean, are you looking forward to looking at any of that?
Oh, I am. I
Okay.
am. I love.
Is there anything in particular?
No, but I follow on Instagram someone that hand embroiders antique linens, monograms them.
Right.
And so I hope to see or meet with that person and how they
And
do
that's
that
that's over there in France.
over there in France. So
Okay,
that's
yeah.
fun. Matouk Linens is the brand I carry in the store. John Robshaw will be a new introduction to our store soon. And those are beautiful block prints. Some of that comes out of India and some of that comes out of Portugal. But beautiful fabrics and beautiful linens are mostly found in Europe.
Okay. And I know we've talked a little bit about, and Alex, my creative director, has talked with you about this because we were planning to do an editorial and some things online because you kind of have a niche with some of the Tiffany vintage jewelry.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that as
Sure.
well?
So I work with someone that was the archivist at Tiffany,
Okay.
and she lives over in Tampa. And so we go to shows together,
Mm-hmm.
and she has deep connection. Now, a lot of the vintage that I look to purchase comes out of New York, and those are old established relationships.
Okay.
Some of it comes from employees that want to basically sell some of their jewelry. But I spend a lot of time searching the markets. It's just the gold prices are so high right now
Right.
that if you can't pay the price, someone's going to melt it down, which to me is insufferable, that you would take this beautiful design and melt it, but you can't blame someone if that's their business is to sell something. They look at it from the value of gold. So it takes a lot of searching, and you need to work with someone that loves that design too, that doesn't want to melt it.
So before, and this is before you took your job at Tiffany, did you have, I mean, obviously it was a little bit different than being in, you weren't like in the store, but did you have influences that, brought you into like having the love for fashion design
Well, you work cross-functionally when you work in a corporate world, right?
Right.
So you're not isolated to your desk with a visor on your.
Right. I know. But
So yes, I mean, I was able, when I worked in business development, I worked with all different brands. So the likes of Temple St. Clair. I
right.
know you have a beautiful piece. I have several pieces of Temple St. Clair. We actually owned Temple St. Clair for a period of time. So I worked directly with the
I never
designer.
knew that until you told me that.
Yep. I actually worked with her. We owned Temple St. Clair. 2008 came along. We had to divest from some of our investments, but I worked with different designers along the way that had significant influence on how I look at things, right?
Okay.
So I'm never
that
going to
was
be
what
a
I was- yeah,
designer,
but
but
that's
they've
what I
had a
was.
significant
So that
influence.
was what I was, where I was like going was like how that shaped after you retired, where you still had the interest because you developed that interest. You did it for almost 40 years.
Right.
And it is hard to walk away from.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's something that you were able to pick up, obviously it's your business now.
Right. And it's no different than going into a manufacturing facility and you really learn what it takes to manufacture something, all the processes involved. And that also leads to why you understand design. Because a well-designed piece, there's so many layers to creating it. And that's an appreciation that I learned at Tiffany. And that's something that flows through, whether it's a luxury item or not, and everyone defines luxury differently, or just a piece. Like when you see a beautiful embroidered piece, you know the workmanship that went into that.
Mm-hmm. So, talking about embroidery, is that coming back again, like you said about with the embroidering the linens?
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay.
You have to, there's cost to it. So, but I think we often get, in fact, I think we're making one now, a quilt that has hand embroidery on it. So we often at Loggia have people that come in and ask for embroidered towels and embroidered linens. And we were able to do that for them.
My grandmother always had that when I was growing up, so I'm very familiar with that. And she always liked her linen, the linens from. That's how I know about over in Europe and different things like that.
And we keep hand embroidered towels in our store, just for your bathroom.
So who are the brand? What are the what's the towel line that you carry?
Anali.
Okay, Anali.
Yeah.
And you have Matuk.
And we have Matuk, and we have Hot Home.
Okay.
And a lot of this has hand embroidery in
right
with it.
And then you have fashion in the store as well.
We do.
You carry St. John.
We carry St. John. We're the only ones in Vero that carry it. It's a French brand. We carry Bella 2.
Okay.
Bella 2's owner also used to work at Tiffany.
Okay. I'm sure there's a lot out there. It was
a very entrepreneurial experience for me. Not only did you learn about luxury, you learned about being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So we carry Bella 2, we carry Finley, we carry Matuk, we carry, trying to go around the store right now as I think about this. Kinross.
Yes.
Henson Wu is a big brand. I'm wearing a Henson Wu shirt today.
Okay.
Via Gallo from Spain.
All right. So
quite a few brands.
Have you any trips to Spain?
No. It's one country I have not been to.
Okay. So you're going to France this year. Where did you go last year?
I went to Mexico and Italy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right. So who are the designers in Italy that you...
Well, when you go to Italy, it's all about luxury. It really, truly is. So
you think of the luxury brands, but there has to be some smaller.
That is hard, and I don't really have any answers for some of the smaller. We have Italian-made belts and Italian-made handbags in our store right now, but many of them don't carry a name that's mostly familiar.
Okay.
And ours are Stefano Bravo, but it's not even marked. It's just Italian made. So Italian made leather to me is great leather.
Right.
And we carry that in our store.
Okay. And then what was in Mexico? What was...
We went on vacation.
Oh.
And I found these little beautiful bowls that I brought back, and we sold like within a few days. I only brought back 3 or 4. They sold in the store.
Okay. So, getting back to the Tiffany jewelry, and the vintage side of it, do you look for any other vintage jewelers that, I'm sure that there were some that, like you said, Tiffany being a very entrepreneurial company, I'm sure there's others that left.
So I have a pair of earrings in the store now it's called Tryon, and they were partners with Seamanship, and they were the manufacturers for Seamanship, and they're in the store right now. I bought them from someone that was a manufacturer for Tiffany, and I actually, when I worked at Tiffany, we acquired that business to get our foray into manufacturing. Now they're estate dealers, and I bought them from them. And
does Tiffany still own them, or no?
Oh, well, now it's just called Tiffany Manufacturing. But one of the things Tiffany had to do to enter manufacturing is buy an established company that manufactured before they could start to manufacture. So they didn't grow it from the ground; they acquired.
And that was obviously for quality control.
Yeah. Well, they were already making Tiffany, so it was a natural foray to buy someone that was making Tiffany jewelry and start their own manufacturing.
Right. They had to, be of a certain quality or whatever to know that they were going to be able to make the pieces that they made.
Exactly.
Are they in the United States or in Europe?
New York.
Oh, they were in New York.
New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what other things do you have, planned with the store? Are you going to be bringing on any new brands?
Well, I hope to. That's always a little bit of a challenge, finding new brands. This year we brought in Caliban, which is a brand most people know from Europe, and we brought in Bonavito, which is a brand from Europe. So I hope to, but it's really about mixing the high and the low and finding, those various price points. One of the things I learned through my career is, good, better, best. Not every day do you want to wear a $600 dress.
Right.
Some days you just want to wear a dress that's $100. So trying to balance that assortment in the store is really important to me. And that's something that resonates with my customers too.
Okay. So how do you go about that? Because obviously there has to be a carefully curated approach to that.
So I really try mathematically to look at our assortment. I hate to get too geeky on you about this, but to mathematically look at our assortment and try to bring something in and be able to tell a story about the higher end pieces. That's really important. Just to put something on the floor that doesn't make sense just because it has a name, to me, doesn't mean anything. But you want to say that how this is sewn, where it's made, where the fabric came from. So that's my approach. At the highest end, a dress price point of a $600 is as high as I go. But everyday living, people don't want to wear a $600 dress. So I also try to bring in something that's fun, that you want to wear. And last year we brought in a new brand called Maud, and our customers flipped over it because it was very colorful. It was very Florida. And I had one woman come in. I saw Barbara last night with this dress on. Where did she get that? And where is that dress? And so it was a big hit, and it was at a great price point. So you're really trying to meet your customer needs. It's not about me, and it's not about the designers I bring in. It's about my customers and meeting their expectations.
So what do you think is on trend for the fabrics? Because I know that, we've gone to getting into like the touchy-feely. So like the fabric for, clothing, like let's talk about summer, because obviously summer will be here before we know it.
I personally, this is personal, I like cotton and linen. Mm-hmm. And some people hesitate on linen because it wrinkles so easily. Yeah. Right? That's a personal thing, and I try not to over-influence my personal choices on other people. But to me, cotton and linen in the summer is the best way to go. It breathes, and you want to breathe in the summer, especially in Florida.
Yes, I know, because everything sticks to you by the time August is here. Yeah. So just to, a little personal, so I know you mentioned to me you have a daughter.
Two
daughters.
Twins.
twins. Okay, there you go. I didn't know that. One lives in Chicago.
One lives in Chicago.
And where is the other?
The other's in New York.
Okay.
She's a doctor.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you, do any of them have like the retail or artsy kind of bug? Or
No.
Okay.
Well, I think the doctor probably has an artsy type of bug, but she's a doctor and she's a surgical resident. And my daughter in Chicago works in HR and human resources and has a big, big personality, not like her mother at all.
Okay. So tell me some of the things that, since you've been in Vero, that you've, come to, has sort of started to be a habit, or, that you enjoy doing.
Well, my biggest habit is going to the store every day.
Okay.
I hate to admit that. I spend a lot of time at the store because store is where I meet my customers.
Yes.
And I really feel in a small business, you need to be present and you need to make sure your customers feel welcomed
Absolutely.
when they come in.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're members of Quail Valley. My husband plays a lot of golf, and we have his roommate from college was here. My parents were here in Vero.
Okay, so that's how I was
and we
going
have
to
other
ask
friends here, and we spend time with our friends.
I was going to ask you how you ended up picking Vero. So your parents were here before.
Yes, my parents were here.
So is that ultimately how you ended up deciding to?
I think my parents being here had an influence. They since are no longer here. Our friends being here had a significant influence, and my husband was ready to really retire and be done. So that's what really chose. But what a beautiful community.
Absolutely.
And a beautiful atmosphere to live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ocean always brings tranquility to your life.
Yes, it does. And Loggia, that was at the right time, right place. Any nonprofits or charities that are close to your heart in Vero?
I think the Hibiscus House is the one I like the most. It helps children, anything that goes above and beyond to help children. And then the Parkinson's Foundation. My father had Parkinson's, and that's why they left Vero. But they did a great job. He went there often for therapy, and they did a great job.
Yep. Yeah, Parkinson's is a difficult. Yeah. Well, that's, yeah. Well, to kind of segue back into to the store. So you're going to France.
I am.
So we can look for
who knows what we can see? Possibly some antique jewelry, some little silver items.
Can you tell us some of the markets that you are going to be
I'm not even sure. I have 3 picked out, and I don't think I'm going to pronounce them well. So I'm not going to embarrass myself right now by trying to speak French.
Okay.
But most of them will have linens and little pieces of silver. If I can find ways to bring some rattan pieces back, I will. But I'm not quite there yet.
So is rattan, is that big in Europe?
Yes, some of the vintage rattan pieces are bamboo pieces. I think of bamboo. Is
that more towards the coast, obviously? Or?
No, they're in the middle.
Really?
Those old English type looking pieces.
Right.
When I used to go to Belgium, and that's where Tiffany did diamonds, even then I used to shop the antique markets when I had a few. I used to wander my way through the streets because I used to walk over from the hotel to the shop, and it was probably 1.5 miles to the shop, but I just would walk it in the morning. It wasn't the shop, it was the factory actually where we cut diamonds, where I used to go.
So they do their diamonds and they're all in Belgium?
Half of them, yeah.
Where are the other half?
Ones. Well, they used to manufacture both in Cambodia and Vietnam, smaller diamonds and cut, but where they actually brought diamonds in is in Belgium.
Now silver, because that was always Tiffany's, was always, still is big in silver. Is that, where would they do a lot of that?
In New York.
Oh, really? So
in Rhode Island. Yeah.
In Rhode Island.
Yeah, we had big manufacturing. They had a big manufacturing facility in Rhode Island.
Okay, I never knew that.
Yeah.
All right, so everything was really geared around New York, other than the diamonds and.
Yeah, well, right, because diamonds came from Africa,
right,
and Australia, and at one point Russia.
I never knew about Australia. I knew
some of the color diamonds come from Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. and then they would
All come in through Belgium and New York to be graded, but Belgium actually marked them. So it's a process. You take a piece of rough, then it's brought into Belgium or to one of the factories to be marked and what they're going to cut it to. And the ground produces what the ground produces, and then you mark it. It should be a round, maybe it should be an oval. And, that's where there was always some argument, the diamond people would say, the diamond experts would say, this should be an oval, but someone wants a round. So are you going to waste part of that product to create the round, because that's where the demand is?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would be cut and polished in one of our factories.
There, and then they would ship them to New York.
Back to New York.
Do they still have the factory there? Do they still do it there?
They still have Belgium. There's 2,000 people in Vietnam, I believe, and 2,000 people in Cambodia. I think it's up to that number, but I can't quote it. I haven't been there in years.
Wow, that's a lot. So that's very interesting.
It was very interesting. And Canada, diamonds come from Canada too.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
The Northwest Territories.
The Northwest Territory. Okay. So out of the ground, way up there. Yeah. No color. It's probably strictly
white diamonds.
White diamonds. Yeah. Yeah. For whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else that you would like to tell us coming up with Loggia or anything? I know you're going to be bringing some pieces back for the fall, hopefully.
Yeah, of course.
And anything else?
No, I think people should visit Loggia. Those that haven't, come in and see what we have. It's really, you come from the outside to the inside. It's tranquil. It's easygoing. People explore the store. I think shopping is a bit of discovery.
Yes.
That's what it is for me as a person. When I go shopping or I go to a market, it's about discovery, and that's what I hope to bring to my customers.
Yes, it's a beautiful lifestyle boutique is what I would like to refer to it as.
Yes.
But, all right. Well, thank you for coming and spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
You can find Scouted Treasure Coast on any of the platforms that you listen to podcasts. If you'd like to learn more about us, please go online to the Scout Guide Treasure Coast. You can pick up a copy at Loggia or any of our other members or here in Vero or on the Treasure Coast, or visit us on Instagram at the Scout Guide Treasure Coast. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.